fortune of meeting him in November 1944. Again, in 1947, I went with beloved Baba when he visited Madras. And after returning, I was so full of enthusiasm that I would go on telling about Baba to each and every one. It so happened that I was connected with a ballet party and I was going to attend it. The train, as I got in, I found that there was a sadhu sitting just before me. I asked him, well, you had gone on pilgrimage from north to south, east to west. Have you met anyone who said that he knew the truth? Who is the truth? To the reply, he took out his little slate and began to write. From this, I gathered that he was observing silence. Then we had some talk through the medium of plate, and in the end, I told him, as for me, I do not know the truth, but I know the one who knows truth, who is the truth. And I asked him his address, and it so happened that he was living the same place where I lived. I met him after a week or so and told him about Baba, and he was very, very happy to hear about it. And then he wished that he would be very happy to meet Baba. I wrote Adi the chances of Baba's darshan, and at that time Baba was at Satara. And I had a letter that Baba would meet people for few hours. Then with this sadhu, whom I would like to call Mauni. Maun means silence, and Mauni means one who observes silence. So with this Mauni, I went to Satara. The program was going on. Baba was there, the singing program, attending, the people were there. I was standing at the back, and when Baba saw me, he just gestured and called me near. When I went to him, he inquired as to the person accompanying me. I took Mauni near Baba. Mauni felt blessed. Baba too appeared quite pleased. And then, after some time, Baba took a coconut in his hand and just pulling some threads, he began to explain with his gestures, well, this is gross body, this is like gross body. And there was some other mandli also. Baba was sitting on the ground, and as we entered the room, I just found that Baba was radiating love. I felt so happy. Baba asked us to sit down close to him and then inquired of me about Mauni. He appeared very pleased that Mauni had obeyed all his instructions, and he just, through the medium of his alphabet board, said, well, I am very pleased with you, and if you ask anything, I would like to give that to you. What would you ask for? And Mauni said, Guru Krupa. Guru Krupa literally means the grace of the Master. When Baba heard these words, I found him bit in a serious mood. And he said, well, you have asked for the best. Even seeing of God and other things of the plains, they are far below. And Guru Krupa is the best thing for which one could aspire. But mind, again there is one condition. You will have to obey me. And if you obey me 100%, then perhaps that grace may descend on you. Hearing this, Mauni just took his hand just by the side of his head to show that he was ready to cut his own head before Baba. Seeing this, Baba said, well, that's very easy. It's very, very easy to cut one's throat, to leave the family, the children, go in the jungle, observe fast. I am not asking that. I may tell you a simple thing, but you only tell me whether you are ready to obey me implicitly and 100%. Again, Mauni over his head said, Mauni nodded his head and said, yes, Baba, I am ready. Then Baba conveyed the following. He said, well, now the order for you is this. Every day at noon, you should have a dish of meat and after that, a bottle of wine. Hearing this, Mauni was so surprised, puzzled, confused. He kept quiet. He was ready to cut his own head, but he was not ready to just obey Baba's order. Then Baba gave him a little time. He attended to other things. And again he said, well, go on. What's your answer? He said, of course he did not directly say that it was impossible for him to obey Baba or to have it. He also told him not to touch money, not to ask for money, not to touch any woman with the intention of lust, and if ever he touches any woman unwittingly, he should remember his mother. And the last instruction was that he should not cook food, but he should beg for food. And with these 4 instructions, the interview was over. We came out and began to discuss whether Mauni's reply was correct or not. Somehow we felt that Mauni had made a mistake in saying no. And we were intending to see Baba again by going into the room. But I approached one of the Mandli, I don't remember whom, and told him about the interview. And he said, well, now past is past. Now even if Mauni is ready to devour an alive lamb, it's useless. And again it would be disobeying Baba's order that he had given you at the end. So we left that thing there. We just attended the other programs and then we left for our place. After reaching my place and Mauni's place, Mauni's necessities and needs were few. He just took 1 or 2 clothes with him and the baking bowl, and he left the place to visit different places. He went to the north and to the Himalayas, and as he was going to Uttarkashi, that is after Haridwar, on the slopes of the Himalayas, he just found that people were not giving food to others, but they would give flour and rice, and one had to cook them. For 2-3 days, he just accepted the flour and rice and cooked for himself. He thought that we are not getting the ready dish here, so there is no harm in taking these things. And it so happened that after 3 days, he had a terrible stomachache. He would do whatever he wanted. He took some treatment, but that won't give him any sort of relief. And so, he had a thought that Baba had asked him to bake for food, and he was cooking food. And with this thought, he left Haridwar and then came to Banaras, where he stayed in a hospital for a month or so. After that, he returned to my place, told me about this experience, and then he was to leave for the south. In the south, he just said that people have many orders, literally, and he was there to meet Sri Baba. Baba again said, well, now again I want you to give certain orders, and you will have to observe them for 6 months. And after that, you come and meet me. Before telling the order, Baba said, the same 4 orders will be there. You will not touch money, you will not touch woman, you will not cook food, you will beg for food, and instead of roaming about from place to place, you will have to live at one place only. You choose your place where you could get bhiksha or cooked food for every day. Then he asked both of us to go out and decide where he could stay and just do what Baba had told him to do. We went to the Meherazad hall and we discussed things, and Mauni told me that it is possible for him to live either at Haridwar or Rishikesh, where he can get food in bhiksha. Then we went to Baba's room and told him that Baba, he would like to stay in Haridwar Rishikesh area. Hearing this, I remember that Baba signaled at Dr. Neelu, who was sitting there, and said, did I not tell you that when Bal and Mauni would come back, they would tell me about Haridwar and Rishikesh? And Dr. Nilkant just said, yes, Baba did say that. And then I remember Baba gave a piece of sweet to Mauni and asked Dr. Nilkant to pray that Mauni would have success. He would carry out the order successfully. It seemed to me that every time Baba gave order, he also gave the strength to observe those orders. In case of Mauni, during the 3 interviews I found that either through a pat on the back or this prayer or something else, Baba would show that as if his help would be there if he was honest in observing the orders. So after coming to Kuduvadi, he went to Haridwar side. Yeah. Then from 60 October 49, Baba began his new life. And that's a different story with me. But to come to Mauni Swami, when I was released from my new life, before it commenced, that in the place where the food was served every day to sadhus, Kali Kamli Wale Baba was a great saint, and in his name, so many people give donations, and through these donations, food is served to sadhus, seekers, sannyasis, every day in the morning till midday. So I went there with an intention that perhaps I may find him there. And to my utter surprise, it so happened that if Baba has planned everything, I knew not that he was coming there every day. So I went there at 8 o'clock. Sadhus started visiting that place from 9 onwards, and to my great surprise and to my great delight, I found that Mauni was standing in the way. I just went near him and embraced him, and he too was very happy. Then he took his bhiksha and I gave him the message from Baba, and then I was very happy that the duty that Baba had given me I could just perform it only with his grace and help. And Mauni, as instructed by Baba, did not contact him during that period, that is after 6 months, but did observe what Baba had told him. Then Mauni, of course, after that attended each and every program, each and every sahvas, and he would be there even to serve as a volunteer, and would continue with his sadhana in his one-hearted and one-pointed devotion to Baba. And as far as I remember, after 1957, when Baba was in Guru Prasad, there also every time he came. But once he told me, when I was at Guru Prasad with Baba, that it was rather a message of a private nature, that he said that he was as if he felt overpowered with lust, and I should tell Baba that he should get the strength, that he should not be carried away by lust. When I told this to Baba, there was a jar of chocolate by his side. He just picked a handful of chocolates and gave them to me and said, when you return to your place, give these to Mauni as my prasad. Of course, when I went back, I gave that prasad to Mauni, and Mauni had those chocolates and later on told me that the feeling of lust that he used to have were much less, and he felt a great relief. Indeed, Baba, through the medium of things that he gives, or prasad that he gives, he just gives an help, a push, a lift to the man concerned. Indeed, indescribable and beyond words are the ways of Baba. Thank you all.